This is our current portable power station, but it's just enough to make a cup of coffee. This wouldn't get you out of trouble. Now, this is a portable power station. Look at the size of it. It comes with straps, a handle, and wheels. Like a suitcase. Thank you so much, Ark for sending us this. This is the Ark Pro 2400 watt IP67 dustproof and waterproof portable power station. Now that's a lot of words. And it's also drop proof. And if that's not enough power for you yet, you can add the Ark extra battery of 2300 watt. You can stack 10 of these on the Ark Pro, giving you 25.3 kilowatts. Now, that's enough to power an off-grid home or entire campsite.
Into the wild again. Tell me when does it end? Hide under the shadow of the morning. Into the break of dawn. We are gonna carry on. Covered by the daylight, it's alright. We are pushing head on, all your worries be gone. We are running straight out into the wild. Follow
The Ark Pro comes in this box and it has everything that you need for your off-grid camping trip. It can power up to 13 devices at once. The 2300 watts extra batteries come in this box. You can get them separately and they come with this massive cable ready to be hooked up. You just open this flap here and attach the massive cable, and the same one here on the extra battery. It has a nice little connection on the top, and then you can stack up to 10 of these on top of the Ark Pro, but you have to make sure that the device is not powered on while you're doing that. Very important. This looks really fancy, like expensive hand luggage or R2-D2. And the extra battery is also waterproof, so it's also IP67. The extra battery has a port here on the side where you can connect more and more batteries. Now, I wouldn't stack them all on top of each other, but you get the drift. And they come with this neat manual, so you're not doing anything wrong, but connection is super easy. With the Ark Pro, you also get this nice little bag with all of the add-ons. So you get your AC power cable. In our case, this is the European version. You get quite a few different solar connectors. This is nice. And these handles are in there as well. I believe they call them Hulk straps because this thing is actually pretty heavy. But of course you can roll it. So we've been rolling this thing around for a week now. I think people think we're going on a flight. First class, of course. Of course, you can just take the Ark Pro with you as a standalone unit. You don't necessarily need the extra battery. And because it's got wheels and a handle, it makes it so easy to just roll it around in the marina, for example. And if you have the option to choose a burst that doesn't have any shore power, you might actually be able to save a buck or two. Guys, you know that 99% of our videos are about adventure, going out there, making it happen, but we cannot make it happen without energy. So this is a massive thing for us, not just space-wise, but also the possibilities that it gives you. That's why this video is going to be a little bit different. We wanted to review this because when Ark reached out to us and told us they have a power station that is not just portable, but also it can be submerged in water for up to 30 minutes in a depth of 1 meter. This is something we wanted to really test out. So we've been testing these two for a week now. We actually put them in the water and we tested all the features to see if they deserve the space in your RV or your boat. Over the weekend we gave it to some friends of ours who needed to use their power tools in the yard. And as you know, this is a dirty environment. You got dust flying around and all kinds of stuff, anti-fouling. But you don't have to worry about that with the Ark Pro because it's dustproof. And we even left it sitting in the rain for a while and the thing turned back on. There's no issues at all. I'm gonna turn the drying mechanism on. For that you press the two buttons, the on button and the light button for a moment, and then some fans should turn on. I can already hear them. Most of the use of interface is in the front here, so you don't necessarily need to move it around. You could also nicely cover this up and just use it as a panel, so you can operate it from here. Let's just power it on. So you got three main buttons here. One is for the power. If I press it once, you can already see the battery percentage. Now this shows 184% because it actually calculates the battery power of the entire unit, including the extra battery. So obviously we have 100% here and 100% here if it is full, but at the moment we have 184%, which means we've obviously been using it like we said. So this is powered on now. Another nice feature that comes right over here is a light button. So if you press it once, you just get the light, but if you keep pressing it, it also turns into an SOS signal. So I think this is a really great feature, because if you're out and you're on a camping trip, or even if you're with your boat, you already have an emergency signal, because this is also actually designed to be an emergency or a disaster relief portable power unit. So you can have the SOS signal here, but let's just turn that off for now so we don't get all flickery. I have to say something here on the side. You don't actually have to press the buttons of the battery. You just basically have to tap it and it's showing at 100%. Now isn't that sexy? Here in the front you got two 12-volt DC car outlets, two USB Type A outlets, four USB Type C outlets here. Two of them are actually 100 watts for things like Apple devices. And then you got the AC power button here that will power on your pure sine wave inverter. Now this is fantastic because only a pure sine wave inverter will be able to power hungry motor tools. So otherwise the inverter will break. So this can be used in the yard, for example, if you need a drill or other devices and you're just too far from your power source. To power the AC, you just press this button here and it will power on the pure sine wave inverter for your 5 AC power outlets that are nicely covered here. It is a total of 2,400 watts, but it surges at 4,800 watts for all of the devices that need an initial boost, like our fridge or our Starlink actually, that needs to adjust its motor before the energy consumption actually goes down. This is the 230 volt version in our case, but if you live in the US, you can also have the 110 volts version. I'll probably use this one for a hairdryer, this one for a hair straightener, this one for an espresso machine, if I ever get one, and this one maybe for our blender. The last one I might leave for Kiki, or for guests. Maybe. Over on this side you got the input connection. So you have an AC plug here where you can power the device right from your wall, or you can plug in your solar. Now we didn't find the right connection on the island, which is the XT60, so Enrique rigged something up in MacGyver fashion. So obviously this is not the way that the Ark comes. This comes with the Ark, but we couldn't connect our solar to it directly. We were missing the XT60 connection that we couldn't find anywhere on the island. We're a little bit off grid at the moment, so we had to make this one up. But you can also charge the Ark with a cigarette lighter connector. Okay, so we just plugged this into our solar and we can see that there is 253 watts coming in, and at this state, how the sun is affecting it, it will take 2 hours to charge. If you plug the Ark Pro into your wall, it will take about 2 hours to fully charge. If you have 1,200 watts of solar panels, it will take about 3 to 6 hours. And if you plug it into your car, you will have to leave your car running for 12 hours to charge it. But you could charge it as you are driving to your destination. Instead of having to add it below deck in a rolly boat, we took it to the beach, which added a whole new level of comfort to our life. This is such a game changer. It takes us about 40 hours to edit one of our episodes, and running Premiere Pro will drain the battery of our laptop in about an hour. So we figured out that we can charge the laptop about 42 times which gives us enough time to finish one episode. If we would have brought the extra battery, we would have been able to edit another half an episode right here on the beach. Now I'm able to do boat projects at anchor or in remote places that take hours and use a lot of power, like polishing the boat. Cordless tools just wouldn't keep up with that. So for the ultimate test, we're gonna submerge it in salt water. You can also submerge it in murky water or in fresh water, but we are in the Caribbean and it's basically impossible to find murky water here. It's all nice and beautiful. We can't submerge it here in the anchorage because there are other people swimming around and we don't want to, in the worst case scenario, electrocute anybody. But we're gonna put some salt water in this box and we're gonna submerge it here on deck using our halyard. There's also no fresh water around here, there are no rivers, so salty water it is, and I'm just gonna fill in the box enough for this to be submerged with my trusty bucket. It's supposed to be safe to dip this into the water, but I'll be better safe than sorry and just putting shoes on for a little bit of extra protection, just for my peace of mind. Let the experiment begin. We just turn it on. There you are. I can see the battery status is 16%. Now up in the air. Let's lower it down. I can see some bubbles coming out. There we are, fully submerged. I think it's a bit weightless, but I can see the display is still on, the Ark is still on, the light is still on, still working. All right, let's take it back out. There we are. Now the device is showing that it's got water here. I can see a droplet and the sign for water. And now I'm gonna turn the fans on so it self-dries. This is very important that once the device got wet, no matter what kind of water, salt water, muddy water, fresh water, you press the button so the drying mode turns on. I can see an error code here, but I think this is normal. And now you can see also a little symbol with a fan. So the drying mode is turned on. And the device should now dry itself from the inside out. That's very important if it got wet. I have to say I had my doubts in the beginning, and that's why I'm wearing shoes as well, but it is waterproof. Happy Christmas everyone, this is our Christmas tree. So we've assembled some of the devices that we're using on a daily basis. We got 2 of our cameras here, we got 2 of our editing laptops, our paddleboard pump, we got a fan over here, a tablet, we got a phone, our blender, and we are also gonna have our fridge here in the corner. And this is a very small but very power hungry little hot plate, but there will be something at the end that we're also gonna connect, but that's gonna be the surprise. And if it can handle all of this and the surprise, I'll be really impressed. So I'm gonna start with the DC. I have already disconnected the solar power, so there's no power coming into the device right now. I'm gonna plug our GoPro in first. I don't have enough USB Type-C connections. They're a bit difficult to find on the island, so what I'm doing is I use a regular USB plug and I split them around here. So I am powering the fan right now, my tablet, my phone, and the Sony camera. So it doesn't matter where the power is drawn from. Let's see if it can handle that. So the fan is not on, but it is charging because it has an internal battery. Now next, let's see what doesn't make any noise for now. So the next one will be our fridge. That's actually been off. Now this should increase quite a bit here now, and it is. Next will be our paddleboard pump, but I'm not gonna turn it on just yet because it's gonna be very loud. And yeah, same for the blender basically. So we're gonna turn on everything at the end and see what happens. It's getting a little bit crowded on our little table now, but next will be the AC, and I'm starting with Enrique's editing laptop. There it is. And then there will be my editing laptop. That should be in there. Next will be our blender and our hot plate, and I'm not going to turn the hot plate on just yet because I don't want to burn myself. So that will be at the very end. Now it's drawing 262 watts with the devices that we have on. Let's fire up the AC and let's start turning things on one by one. So we should get a sharp increase here. So the hot plate. There is a very sharp spike already. Obviously it's drawing a lot of power because it's heating up. Now our paddleboard pump will get a little bit loud, and our blender. So now we're gonna put it to the ultimate test. We have jerry-rigged our boat over here. We're gonna plug it into the last AC outlet in a minute. So basically this will be plugged in and it will power all of our devices, all of the AC outlets in the boat. This charges our batteries. We have a water heater here under the seat. So we're gonna plug all of this in right there and then turn everything on once again and see if it can handle it. So I'm gonna turn on all of the things, 220, our battery charger, and our water heater. Even the batteries of our drill we're going to be plugging in, obviously in our wall in the boat, but I'll be skeptical if it can handle all of this. This is like a salad of things by now. I'm gonna plug our boat into the Ark Pro now. Let's see what happens initially. So there should be a very sharp surge, and there is. We're already at 1460 watts. And now let me start turning everything on that's not already charging in here. Let me start with the very power hungry little hot plate. This should give it a really good boost. Now what else? Our paddleboard pump, and last but not least, our blender. Our paddleboard pump as well, and our hot plate that's getting really hot already, and now you should see it slowly decreasing. It's gone down now to 1512 watts, and there is some fan. We can hear the fans of the Ark Pro now, but it seems to be performing really well still, and we still have the battery charger, the 220, and our hot water maker on. This is amazing. I can't believe we can make hot water with this. This draws a punch. And the AC of the boat is still on. You can see our drill battery is still charging. It hasn't thrown any arrows. It hasn't malfunctioned. Everything is on. This is amazing. I'm really impressed. Just gonna unplug the boat from the Ark Pro now. and then we should see how things are going down. Let's give it a bit of a rest. It's been good. So we really put this one to the test and it performed amazing. I mean, it did show an error code for a moment, but we may have put it above the 2400 for too long, but then it bounced back and nothing stopped working. I mean, the fan went on, so there was probably some heat generated inside, but I'm really happy. And to have this in the boat, waterproof, and you're able to power, I mean, this is almost all of our devices that we're using, but we're never really using them at one point, so I'm impressed. Is it really worth the money? Would we buy it? I'd say yes. Making hot water in the boat already is priceless. We weren't able to do this before, and charging all of these devices, it's amazing. The only negative point I'd say for me as a girl is that it's not as portable as I would like it to be. It's a bit heavy to bring it out and into the boat, but it does have rolls and it does have a handle, so brilliant. Thank you so much, Artpacks, for sending us this. It's gonna be having a permanent place in our boat. We're probably gonna call it R2D2. And thank you so much everyone else for watching this. If you're interested, check the link below. See you next time, guys. Love you all.
What do you mean?